Good evening and welcome to the Village Board meeting for the Village of Pleasantville. Today is Monday, March 23. In this world in which we live, we are conducting this meeting over Zoom, and anybody who cares to join it can pick up the link to join the Zoom meeting for this and future meetings at our website, pleasantville-ny.gov. We have online tonight the good fortune of Westchester County Executive George Latimer, who is on the phone now. Welcome, George. Thank you for logging in.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the board. I'm joined by Ellen Hendricks, who's our Assistant Director of Intergovernmental Relations. And we just wanted to go over very quickly the status of the COVID-19 coronavirus situation in Westchester, and then open it up to any questions that the board might have so that we can be as good a partner to Pleasantville as we can be. We all realize that we're in a completely uncharted area. All of us are just kind of figuring out how to solve these things as we go along. And in the process of doing it, we found out today from the governor that there are 2,894 positive cases in Westchester County. There's 20,800 in the state, 2,894 in the county. 3 weeks ago today, we had our first positive case. So in the space of 3 weeks, we've gone from one case to 2,900 cases, which is gives you an idea of how this contagion expands and how it affects people all over the county. Our records indicate, and they may be a little behind the actual information on the ground, but there are 10 cases in Pleasantville. The big numbers belong to the big communities of Westchester, New Rochelle, Yonkers, Greenburgh, White Plains, Mount Vernon are the bigger areas, but there's a case in just about every community in the county. And because we are testing at a higher rate than any other county in the state, including New York City, proportionate to our population, we expect we're going to get more positives every day, but we're also going to get more negatives, and we're going to get a better chance to see exactly what we have to do to cut back on social contact, which is the only tool we have available. There's no antivirus to fight this. There's no vaccine to fight it. We may get those things in due time, but for right now, we don't have them. So all of our activities are designed to prepare for the surge when a high percentage of people get ill at the same time, and then also to deal with a host of different things that we as a county can do. Rapid fire, the county has allocated the county center to the State Department of Health to be available for temporary hospital beds. We have capacity in our hospitals right now to cover a small growth of these things, but it's happened in Italy and China. If the contagion and the disease gets so serious that we have many people going to the hospital, many more than we can handle, we'll need backup location, and the county center will perform that function, we hope, adequately. We still need additional PPE, personal protection equipment. We need ventilators. We need trained operators, nurses, doctors, a host of different things in order to do the best we can to save lives. And so we're trying to do all of those things. But at the county level of government, setting aside a location to do it is part of it. And our Emergency Operations Center, which is just down the road from you in Hawthorne, is the county government clearinghouse that collects all the orders requesting PPE and sanitizer from local organizations, local governments. In the case of the village, you have to go through the town, I guess. But we try to provide it based on your requests, and we get it from the state. So our emergency operations people are working on that particular situation. We've set aside Glen Island as a testing center. It's been up for about a week and a half. We've tested a lot of folks there. We also know that there's a testing center at the medical center, a lot closer to you over in Valhalla. That is primarily for the people who are patients there, but at some point they'll open it up to the general public when they've saturated the people there that they have to test. We still have in-home testing by various teams that are going out from the health department, state and county health department. And I've heard that there may be another testing center open up in St. Joe's. All of the testing is designed to identify if you're positive so you can be segmented away from the rest of the society for 14 to 21 days and not, infect other people and try to have as least amount of growth of this contagion as we can. Our Beeline buses no longer require fare because we have closed off the front entrance to the bus. When you enter a Beeline bus, you go through the back entrance, take a seat. You don't have to pay because we're protecting the bus drivers. We've cordoned off the first few rows behind the bus driver so that people going in and out of the bus don't come close to the bus driver and potentially give the disease to the bus drivers. If we lose our bus drivers, we won't be able to run the system. So we have to protect their health and make sure that the system can still run. And that change started in effect today on all of our bus lines. All of our county parks are still open, but we're pushing the social distance, the word that we never used until a week and a half ago. But all of our parks are still open. You can still go on the North County Trailway and walk or bicycle. You can go to Kensico and Kingsland Park and all these other places. We have not closed down our golf range because golf is a sport that doesn't involve contact between people, and you can space yourself as a threesome or foursome and still tee off and play on the green. However, we've had to close our children's playgrounds in county parks because we can't ensure the safety of the kids with constant sanitizing of the equipment, and we'd have to do that to make sure that the coronavirus did not stay on surfaces and the kids pick it up and become contagious. So it seems a little unfair to let golfers do their thing, but little kids on playgrounds can't. But that's the challenge in front of us. And both our government and your government is tasked at these various parks to try to make sure people understand that we're not trying to be the thought police, but we have to make sure that people are keeping a proper distance from each other so that they don't have a chance to spread the virus. But the parks are still open. We know that there's a terrible economic impact to this virus with the closing of all these institutions. The governor's closed bars, restaurants, gyms, health clubs, beauty parlors, barber shops, nail salons, you name it. And in so doing, a lot of people are unemployed. A lot of small business people are threatened to go under. And there's no easy answer to these things. We hope that this is over soon and we can start to restart the engine. But a lot of businesses and people, are going to have difficulty making it and may not make it. Bridget Gibbons, our Director of Economic Development, is trying to serve as a clearinghouse for information on how various businesses can file for loans or whatever other benefits may be out there for individuals and for groups. For businesses that believe that they qualify as an essential business and can continue to operate under the governor's orders to reduce workforce, Bridget has those forms, can help a business fill them out and try to be helpful in whatever little way we can. We are looking for nurses, medical assistants, physician's assistants, doctors, and if you want to put a call out to the people in Pleasantville, anybody who's retired, we're going to need your expertise back in the business. It may not be that we'll put you on the firing lines, but we'll put you in a place that would allow a current nurse or doctor to go out on the firing lines, and it would help us be able to administer, because we know we're going to have a madhouse if the county center gets filled with sick people. And this will be a life or death matter, as we've seen on television. We do have a hotline in effect, get about 12 to 1,500 calls a day. It is meant to be a general hotline, give you general information. There's also an email address that you can write in if you have questions. We'll give you that. I guess, Peter, tomorrow you can call us, or Ellen can call you and give you the information so you can circulate it to the board. And people have questions, they can go to that email address, because there are long waits on the hotline. Generally, if a person feels sick or they think they're starting to have symptoms, they need a test, they should contact the family doctor. Do it by phone. Do not go into his office unannounced. Do not go to urgent care or the hospital unless you're in dire straits, and even then call ahead, because you don't want to infect the other people that may be sitting in the waiting room waiting to see a doctor. A doctor's prescription will authorize a test, and then it becomes difficult because there are long lines, even though we have these testing facilities. But we'll do our best. And certainly for any of your first responders, if you have police, fire, EMS people out on the line, and one of them gets exposed, they need to be tested to know whether they can come back to service, let us know, and we'll try to be helpful. I'm going to stop there because, you've got other things to do tonight. We want to be a good partner to Pleasantville and to all the other municipal governments. We know that there are things that you can't do and we can't do, and even the state can't do. So we look to the higher levels of government for their leadership. We're very proud of what the state's been doing under Governor Cuomo, and we hope that all levels of government will be working in harmony to do one basic thing, and that's to save lives.
Well, thank you, sir. Really, I think an extraordinary effort on your part and the entire county team, and a shout out to Governor Cuomo, who has been remarkable in all of this. I'm struck by what he has said a few times and said today, that the wave is growing and we're just wondering when it will crest and break. So,
we hope for the best.
We certainly do. Very much appreciate it, and thank you for calling in. We'll help in any way we can too, just as you have been so helpful to us.
Thank you very much, Peter, and have
All
a good night all.
Thank you, Peter. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, thank you, County Executive Latimer, for that update. Back to a few announcements. As you know, we've closed Village Hall as well as other village buildings, and as a result, we are trying to maintain business as usual via the Zoom platform. So our next regular meeting after tonight is on Monday, April 13, a work session at 7 p.m., which is going to be on Zoom as well, followed by a regular, normally televised session at 8. So what's going on is that anyone who's interested in participating or listening to those meetings can do so by picking up the Zoom invitation that is going to be available on our pleasantville-ny.gov website. And then those Zoom meetings are being recorded and will be then available for anyone who might wish to watch them at pctv76.org, same as you would have watched the video of a regular meeting. So I think we'll get better at all of this as we go, but thanks to a whole bunch of different people throughout the village, we're, I think, up and running with a pretty reasonable mechanism to keep the wheels turning and to keep all of us away from one another. So that's a segue to what the county executive already said, which is that social distancing could not be more important. Easy to look around one's home, one's yard, one's neighborhood and say everything seems fine at the same time as they're standing up a field hospital in the county center. So what the reality is that it's everybody's personal, community, and social obligation to our nation to avoid spreading this virus. Playgrounds are closed. Basketball courts outdoors are closed. People cannot be congregating in groups. We had some trouble this weekend with younger folks who were operating business as usual, and in so doing, putting themselves at risk, potentially spreading that virus back to their families and then their families to other families, and increasing the need that hospital being built in the county center is going to be full of beds. So I can't tell you how important it is for social distancing to be respected. Our police are keeping an eye on it, and we will not be shy about telling you to cut it out if you're behaving in a way that doesn't maintain social distancing. Two things to be said about that. One is we ran our farm market this weekend in Memorial Plaza after much care and discussion between village folks and the folks at Food Chester, the not-for-profit volunteer group that runs the farm market. Lots of folks thought, why are we running a farm market? That seems crazy at a time when we're trying to avoid people gathering. The farm market folks established some different guidelines. They established a perimeter, people coming in only at one place, asked people to line up but maintain social distance in the line so there weren't too many people at any given time in the farm market. And the core problem in a world where there are no absolutes is that people still need to get food. The scene that all of us have seen in grocery stores is on occasion the opposite of social distance. And it's our belief that as long as we can run the farm market equally as safely or perhaps more safely as an outdoor venue than is the case for shoppers in a grocery store, we ought to still do it, especially since failure to do it means that those folks would end up going to buy their needs at the grocery store. So that's the calculus we have used. It depends on everybody cooperating. It depends on people being responsible. It depends on people maintaining social distance. But I just wanted folks to realize the decision was made very, very carefully and is being monitored very, very carefully in a world where nothing is perfect, but it's crystal clear that folks have to get food, and all the places they have to get it right now represent a social distancing risk. So advice and commentary suggestions are always welcome. You can find all of our email addresses at pleasantville-ny.gov, and we encourage folks to provide feedback. But in the meantime, please, social distancing is critical and central to maintaining the safety of all of us who might potentially come down with this, and even more so to the folks who run and manage the hospitals, who are at this point dealing with a pretty serious ramp up in what may easily turn out into an unmanageable condition if we don't follow the rules. So a couple of things to be said along the way. As mentioned, Governor Cuomo has been extremely helpful. I think it may already have been mentioned, he does a daily press conference that you can pick up on his website and in many news sites. But you can also go to coronavirus.health.ny.gov and sign up for email updates, which I encourage everybody to do. I think the state has been providing admirable and clear direction. So that's coronavirus.health.ny.gov. Here in the friendly confines of 10570, we encourage you to go to pleasantville-ny.gov. If you haven't already done it, in the left-hand column, news and announcements, click on that and you will have an opportunity to subscribe to news and announcements. If you're interested in these Zoom meetings that are going to be run for our village board and our various boards and commissions, that's the place to sign up for agendas, and you will get an email telling you how to watch. Top of that page, just above the Pleasantville clock, you'll see a link to our Facebook page. You can also get to the Facebook page by Googling for it. We are posting a series of videos. I've done a couple, David and Nicole have done a couple. Paul Alvarez, who is our trustee in waiting. We were to have an uncontested election last week. The village elections have been postponed. So Steve Lord remains a trustee shackled to the desk until an election is permitted by the state. Thank you, Steve, for stepping in. The right guy on the job because of Steve's background in all kinds of emergency management. But Paul, who will be a trustee as soon as we can get an election accomplished and swear him in, is going to be helpful in 1,000 ways. And one of the ways he was helpful was to do a video post in Spanish, and that has been a subject of a lot of interest to folks. You can pick that up on our Facebook page. You can pick up those videos if you prefer at pctv76.org. But we're putting out a series of short videos every day or a few days to try to keep in touch with both the hard facts of what's going on, as well as some of the ideas we have about the way in which we could normalize our lives. Then the last thing I wanted to say in this long-winded series of announcements is, for all of us, this represents a very serious economic risk. Every one of us confronts that individually. We certainly confront that with the village budget and with the county budget and the state budget. But very close to home, as you already know, with New York on pause, non-essential businesses are closed, but restaurants, bars, delis are permitted to have takeout and delivery. And a number of our retailers have online ordering, phone ordering, email ordering with the capacity to ship you the goods you might want, as well as to arrange a pickup the same way you might pick up takeout food. So it will be an enormous help for all of us to be thinking about the way this economy looks as we emerge from this, whenever and however we do. But in the meantime, if you're thinking about getting takeout food, do it here in Pleasantville, New York. If you're thinking about getting books, if you're thinking about getting coffee beans, if you're thinking about any of the services that might be available in stores that are otherwise closed, you can take a look at pleasantville.com. That is the website for the Pleasantville Chamber of Commerce. They have been serving as a clearinghouse for info for the available services from our various merchants, and it's a good place to get a summary of what's going on. And then perhaps, as is obvious to so many of us, a special shout out to the folks at Pleasantville Pharmacy. Obviously, pharmacies fall into the essential business category, and those folks are providing yeoman service in a time of significant need. So don't hesitate to remember that there are an awful lot of people out there to deliver all these services, including the folks that are loading grocery shelves and managing all of that. And they are in some respects putting themselves at some risk in order to make it possible for the regular part of life to operate. Thank you to all of those folks. A special shout out, obviously, to our first responders, the police, the folks at Pleasantville ambulance corps, and to all of the healthcare givers who are involved in this epic battle. Pretty crazy stuff, but some inspirational moments amid all of it. So village services continue. We're doing everything we need to do, although everyone who can work remotely is doing so. You can go to pleasantville-ny.gov and find a directory of phone numbers and emails for any service that might be necessary. But we're still delivering the highway and the sanitation services that we always do. Water still comes out of the faucet. The police still call when you arrive when you call. Our folks are out there doing the job that needs to be done. So anybody else have any comments to add to that or announcements to make?
Yeah, Mayor, just curiously, is the rebroadcast of this meeting going to be on a Facebook page or not? It's okay. I just didn't know.
So I think that's a good idea, and am sure could embed that. Fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think embedding a video of this length is tricky, but we could put up a link to PCTV and, explain in the post that this is how we're going to be doing our meetings and how to access those. I mean, we could link it each time just so that people can watch it. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Did you mention the resolution on parking? I'm sorry, my son barged in at one point, so I missed a little piece. The resolution that we're considering on parking meters.
Yeah, so we've added to our agenda, for those who looked at it previously, approving a waiver of parking meter fees that will respect the fact that parking downtown is obviously much quieter with all these businesses closed, and we're trying to make it easy for folks to come and accomplish their business and to support our open retailers and take out places in any way they can. So assuming we all vote for it, and in work session, I think it was pretty clear that we will, we're going to waive parking meter fees effective tomorrow through May 2. I'm sorry, through May 2, with fees resuming on Monday, May 4. They obviously wouldn't have been available, required on a Sunday anyway. So we'll revisit that when that date comes, but for the month of April and the remaining days of March, we'll avoid the need for folks to have to pay parking fees. So
and the other thing, just Mayor, to reiterate what you said about the governor's daily press conference. It's at 11 o'clock every morning. It's probably posted by 11:30, 12 o'clock. If somebody hasn't watched it live, they can watch it after that. Really important messages, new messages coming out every day, old messages coming out every day though as well. Just really important to watch, and then all those links, of course, that are available for anybody with a computer. You can watch it. So I just
agreed, Joe. And you can see that at governor.ny.gov, as well as many other places, but that's the governor's website. And there is live streaming, as well as a link there to his coronavirus page. And honestly, as perhaps every one of us has felt in the course of all this, more information is on the one hand horrifying, and on the other hand reassuring. Horrifying to the extent that we confront a pretty serious challenge here, and reassuring to the extent that amid those challenges, there are a whole lot of people doing a whole lot of good work. So, any further comment of any kind? All right. With that, we will bounce our way to our regular agenda. The first item on our regular agenda is a public hearing on an introductory local law number 2 of 2020 to override the property tax cap for the village budget fiscal year 2020-21. Is there a motion to open that hearing?
So moved.
Second?
second.
Welcome to the, all in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Welcome to the public hearing. We have now, I think, for the first time in the history of the village of Pleasantville, opened a virtual public hearing.
Right.
Up until a couple of weeks ago, that was actually not even permitted. by law. So as we have commented in the past and comment again now, it is not our intention nor our expectation to break the tax cap this year. But as a matter of practice, we think it wise to pass the resolution that would enable us to break the tax cap if in the course of the final review of our budget, we found it necessary to do so. So as you will hear when we have our details on the draft budget, which is now posted and is available online at pleasantville-ny.gov, we do not anticipate breaking the tax cap at the moment, but we are scrambling a bit with revised figures based on what's going on. Any further comment on that, Eric Morrissey?
No, it's as with everything going on in the world right now, it's very fluid. We're trying to grasp some revenue losses and hope to get more data on that in the weeks to come as the data becomes available.
But the draft budget is posted right now, and you can take a look at it. And we encourage folks to do so. But we'll be having a presentation, the hearing on the budget on April 13.
That's right.
At which point will we see the animated GIFs again?
Yeah, we're bringing that out. Yep.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke.
All right. There, to my knowledge, is not any member of the public online at the moment, but because the access to doing that is a little more tortured than it would be normally to come to Village Hall, please do not hesitate to send us questions via email. And again, you can go to pleasantville-ny.gov, click on the Board of Trustees, or click on the administration and find the emails for any of us. If you have a question, a concern, an inquiry about the budget, we encourage you to do so.
Mr. Mayor, Shane McGaffey here, 85 Nanahagan Road.
Aha. Yes, sir.
I do have a question.
Okay.
And the reason I'm asking you the question is because it seems to me that this resolution was on like a month ago and was already approved. Is that not the case?
No, it was scheduling this public hearing.
I see. Okay. Thank you. Okay. You're right.
Glad to hear from you. It feels like someone's watching, even though it's the guy that's normally in the room with us. Thank you. All right. So absent any further comment, is there a motion to close the public hearing on the resolution on the introductory local law number 2?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. All right. Then we will go to our resolutions in the order that they would have been if we were sitting at the table the way we're supposed to be. How about Nicole, number 63?
Okay. Resolved in accordance with Section 510 of New York State Village Law, the Board of Trustees hereby acknowledges receipt of the village fiscal year end 2021 tentative budget from the village administrator, and the tentative budget is attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
Eric, you want to just comment on the contours of the draft budget?
Sure. So the tentative budget is tax cap compliant in its current form. It carries a tax rate increase of 1.92%, which for a village homeowner with a home that's $600,000 in value would carry about an $82 village tax increase. It seeks to appropriate over $700,000 from the fund balance to support appropriations and provide some tax relief. It's under the tax cap by about $140,000. It's a tentative budget that looked a lot different about a week and a half ago, but we have pivoted with the knowledge we currently have and made some adjustments. We're expecting the final budget to have some cuts or further cuts on the expense side, as we've tasked our department heads to go back through their budgets and essentially take out any non-essential budget requests. So we were able to pivot on some of it for this tentative budget, and there'll be more changes to come by the time we report back on April 13th.
Thank you, Eric.
Sure.
As you will see in the next resolution, we'll post the public hearing to go through that budget in detail, but as is the case every year, the draft budget gets posted in March. We have through the month of April to hack away at it if there are ways to improve it. This year is kind of an unprecedented circumstance, as Eric already mentioned, that the rug has been pulled out from lots of people's budgets, including lots of people's own budgets at home. But certainly village, county, state budgets are going to be very, very significantly impacted by all that is going on right now. All in favor of Resolution 63?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. 64, Steve.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby schedules the public hearing for the village fiscal year end 2021 tentative budget for April 13th, 2020 at 8 p.m. prevailing time via teleconference.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? There you have it. April 13 is your chance to hear all about it and to see the animated GIFs, which remind us of Patty Dwyer,
A long history, right?
who we have talked to recently as well. Shout out to Patty if you're watching, which I hope you're not. You have enough. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 65, Joe.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village mayor to sign the renewal agreement with the CSEA Employee Benefit Fund for employee dental and vision benefits effective June 1, 2019 to May 31st, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
Eric, pro forma delivery of the benefits in the contract.
Yep, there's a slight increase in the monthly expense. It's about, $5 for the dental and vision on average, but yes, pretty much pro forma.
All right. Any questions or comments?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. David, 66.
Resolved the Board of Trustees hereby approves the minutes of the meeting held on February 24th, 2020.
Is there a second?
Second.
That meeting is...
I apologize. I need to change that. That's March 9th.
Oh, yes, so it is. All right, so the resolution has been revised to read March 9. Is that okay with the mover and seconder?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. The meeting of March 9th, the minutes remind us that we were visited on that occasion by Senator Pete Harcum, our New York State Senator in this region. He described a bunch of things that are going on in Albany. We talked a bit about the coronavirus in ways that now seem like they were a generation ago.
Although we did talk about whether they were going to be able to build additional hospital beds on that
Yep.
day.
That is true. But among the discussions that night was a discussion about the New York State proposal from Governor Cuomo in his executive budget to legalize marijuana, differing opinions in various places about that. The interesting question that actually came up today in Governor Cuomo's press conference was whether major initiatives like that can realistically be hammered out among the differing sides of the story with all that's going on. He indicated that he hopes it can be, but by the same token, time is waning in Albany to deal with what is now an even bigger budget gap. And so I do wonder whether those items will be seen this year, which, depending on one's view, may be a blessing or not in a tough environment where so much else is going on. So any other comments or corrections to the minutes of March 9? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Number 67, Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following budget amendments as listed below. Budget transfers from finance, conference and training to finance full-time, 2730. From administration, conference and training to administration full-time in the amount of 3,250. Contingent to safety inspection full-time for 5,600, and another 10,000 from contingent to central technology consulting service to $2,550 from snow removal overtime to street, is that right? Street administration full-time? It's very small on my, and then $15,400 again from snow removal overtime to street maintenance full-time, $7,200 from snow removal overtime to parks full-time. So that's all of the transfer in the general fund. In the water fund, $6,500 from contingent to water administration full-time, and $5,600 from contingent to water transmission full-time. And then in the refuse fund, $9,000 from contingent to refuse full-time.
Is there a second?
Second.
So pretty self-explanatory, I guess. The one piece in a world that is being buffeted by the forces of nature,
Right.
Some very small solace that we were not buffeted by a lot of snow, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 68, Steve.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the abstract for payment of claims dated March 9th, 2020 for fiscal year end 2020, covering check numbers 96448 to 96570 as listed below. From the general fund, $74,927.39. From the water fund, $7,623.61. From the capital fund, $30,878.50. From the refuse fund, $6,756.64 for a total of $120,186.14.
Is there a second?
Second.
Before we approve it, I want to, again, I apologize, it's March 23rd, not the 9th.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Thank you. Sorry, I went right
I
by
can't
that.
work from home. I can't work from home.
Is that acceptable to the mover and seconder?
Yes.
All right. Comments or questions about the check register?
I do want to note that the large amount for the capital fund was payment for the supplies for the Parkway Field lights.
The lights.
Okay.
Oh, good.
That project is moving along, and here's hoping we'll have a reason to
Something to
We
light.
have sports to light up, right?
Yeah. The access control for the court doors, that's reimbursed by the Office of Court Administration?
Yes.
Okay. So
There was one small piece picked up by Village Technology Line for a patch panel in one of the closets, but that can be used by other resources in the building.
that's great. So, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion
Aye.
approved. And then for those of you who were following the original agenda, we've added a new resolution number 69. Joe.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the waiver of all parking meter fees effective March 24th, 2020. 2020 through May 2nd, 2020, with all parking meter fees resuming as of Monday, May 4th, 2020. And further resolved that all parking time limits will remain in effect during the waiver of the parking meter fees.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
So this arises, I think, for obvious reasons, which is on the one hand that there is much less activity downtown with New York on pause, and we would like to make it as easy as possible for people to navigate the business that they do have downtown. And the other piece of it was certainly in our pay and display meters, many hands manipulate the keypad, and we do not wish to have that be a vector of transmission of anything. So we'll reconsider this, and hopefully by May 2, the world will feel different. If it doesn't, we'll continue to extend this. Any comments from the rest of you guys?
Yeah, Eric, are we going to place those bags over the, like at Christmas time when we put
Yeah.
them
How will people know?
over those meters?
I'll have to talk to Jeff about our manpower. We're doing skeleton crews, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about bagging or how quickly we can get that together.
All right, just
I mean, maybe, I wonder if we should just put up some signs, certainly put a sign at the pay and display.
The pay and displays, yeah.
Yeah, listen, there can be taped on signs. That's okay too. People will be happy that
Right.
it's gonna happen, so.
Yeah.
All right. That was the last of our resolutions. Is there any new business or new?
No, we got to vote, Peter.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Joe. Any new business or comment from the public? Shane, are you ready to say something else, please?
No comments.
I'm just
All right.
wondering if David's background is for the apocalypse. Is that?
There you go.
Actually, I was going to explain that if you want to know what we're projecting as homeschooling parents, it's this.
That's
But if you
good.
want to know the reality of being at home with 3 kids, it's
All right.
Well done.
Well, I mean, as this very abnormal world starts to settle in addition to the hard news that we need to give you about what's going on and what we need you to do, it's also our goal to help connect all of us collectively with what's going on in our village and the life of the schools and the life of our arts organizations. I know the Burns is making stuff available online. People are talking about virtual dinner parties and virtual dance parties, and
Mhm.
Arc Stages has a bunch of things going on. As mentioned at pleasantville.com, the Chamber of Commerce site, you can find out, when the Black Cow's open to buy beans and what restaurants are open for takeout and when the bookstore, or how to order a book from the bookstore and actually get it, just to single out a few among what I think are many. All of those folks, like every one of us, is trying to figure out how to run our lives in a world where a lot of the levers we normally pull aren't available to us. So we're going to stick together. That's what Pleasantville does. That's what it's always done. It's a steeper climb right now than we've had before, but we have a whole lot of resources and a whole lot of good people to try to make it happen. So thank you all for your attention. Again, keep an eye at pleasantville-ny.gov. Keep an eye on our Facebook page. Keep an eye on pctv76.org and sign up for our news. And while you're at it, sign up for Code Red Emergency Services, both available in the left column at pleasantville-ny.gov. And then lastly, a special shout out to George Latimer, our county executive, for signing on and offering those commentary at the beginning of our meeting. There are 45 municipalities, cities, towns, and villages in this county of nearly 1 million people. George Latimer is drinking from a fire hose right now. That has not kept him not only from doing all the many good things he's doing, but from checking in with the likes of us. So very much appreciated. Any further comment from anybody? Thank you all. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Noreen. Thank you, Mary Schwartz. Thank you, Noreen McGinty. Thank you, Shane, for your assistance in getting out the word. Thank you, Pleasantville, and good night. See you April 13. But keep an eye out for videos in the meantime.
Should we have a formal vote to end the meeting?
Yes, please.
We're going to go into executive session or not?
Right.
We have an executive session. So thank you guys for providing guardrails so I don't go off.
Yeah, it's work from home, Peter. I don't know.
Exactly. Is there a motion to go into executive session on matters of personnel?
I so move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you all. We're signing off from our online meeting. We're going into executive session. Very much appreciated. Good night.
Aye.